Hello, my friends. I was white, and I went C4 because the English is my bread and butter now. It makes me feel warm and cozy because no one knows what to do with the English. I know what to do with the English. It's pretty simple. Maybe it's equal according to computers, but it's only equal if you both know it equally, right? So I have no problem getting my pieces active in the beginning. Case in point, watch this. C4, E5, naturally. G3, because I don't want to bring out my knight on C3 in case he brings the bishop down, so I delay knight to C3. I go G3 instead as my second move. He goes knight C6, so I should look not at myself, and then I look all lazy. If I look directly at the camera, then I'll look less lazy. So C4, E5, G3, knight C6, bishop G2, fianchet. And he goes bishop C5. And I'll move 4. I go E3. Getting ready to, well, I always, whenever someone goes bishop C5, I like to go, blunt the diagonal. Right, looking at the camera. Look at the camera. And he goes knight G to E7. I go knight F3. Get all the pieces out. These are the English basics, or all chess basics. Get all the pieces out. He goes D6. I castle. He goes looks like bishop F5. My writing is poor. I go D4. Turn 7 now. He went bishop C. I castled on turn 6. He went bishop F5 on turn 6. I went D4 on turn 7. He went bishop B3. And okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, the English, when I play online, this happens all the time where I get the count. I get the 1, 2, 3. I get the number of attackers on, I can always just push D4. And this time I castled so that the bishop can't, and I still haven't brought out my knight. So his bishop had to go to B3 because he had no prospects of sacking his bishop with the knight, because I haven't brought the knight out yet, and the king's gone. So he's got no targets. If he goes down, I'm just gonna pester him with pawns, and he knows it. Smart guy. It was a good game. My goodness. And so he goes bishop B3. And I go D5, really putting the screws to his position. He had to retreat his knight to B8, back to the starting square. And I felt good about that. And then I go knight H4, trying to deal with that light squared bishop. And he goes bishop G6. And then I thought, if I take that bishop, he's going to take back with the knight because he doesn't want to double his pawns. But then if he takes with the knight, then I've got him outnumbered in that square over, where's my pawn? On D5. So if I give a check, there was some idea. If I gave a check, I was just waiting to do my check on A4. It's coming. But anyway, he saw the problem with moving his knight. His knight was busy. He didn't want to so he doubled his pawns. And now he has his rook on an open file. And wow, what that was all that created some excitement later on. Just wait. Wait for the real position. Wait, this is all just the build up to the climax of the real story is right at the end. First part's kind of, whatever. You're setting up your stuff. Nothing really happened for the first little while, except for, our pieces dancing. So, I went knight h4. He went bishop g6. I went knight takes... I wrote it wrong. I wrote knight takes g3, h takes g3. So that I should have written knight takes g6, and then h takes g6. And now we're... Do I have a pencil? I could fix that right now. One sec. Because I need to put it in my computer later. I mean, I suppose I'll catch it then too, because there's no knight taking g3. Okay. Knight takes g6, h takes g6. And I go knight c3. Now it's time to get that knight out. It's time to party. I lost one knight, I need another one. He goes knight f5. And then, so then he moves it. So it's like, I guess I'm free to do my plan. So I don't know if I really had a plan that made sense. I went queen a4 check as turn 12. And he went knight d7, and I wasn't expecting that. I was trying to be very careful to not let him develop as a reaction to whatever I'm doing. I was really trying to squeeze. But so then I accidentally, I overlooked him being able to block in that way. I thought he would have to block with the pawn, then I get to take with my pawn, and then it activates my light square bishop on g2. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't happen. So he went knight d7. And I went b4. I've learned now about the English and about chess in general. You play on the side that your pieces are pointing. And for the English, it's all that way, right? Bishop's that way. My dark square bishop never moves. Never. I did that thing that one guy did one time where I just made it the most annoying piece without ever having to move it. So anyway, okay, I'm up to turn 12. Queen a4 check, knight d7, turn 13, b4. He goes a4. I go knight. Oh yeah, because if he goes a4 because I can't take it. Wait. Anyway, sorry, I won't talk too much. He goes a4. I go knight e4. I was trying to get ready to push my pawns even more. And he goes a takes b4. Yeah, that's not... Okay, this is why I'm confused. You can't... I got all my things flipped. He went a5. You can't jump. You can't triple jump. The pawns are a bit zesty at the beginning. They get to do their 2-jump, but no pawn can do a triple jump. So he went... Oh no, and my pencil broke. Look at this. Look at that. Just now. Oh, my word. Let's switch to giant Sharpie here. He went a5, I think. Yeah, that's the only way he'd be able to take. So then I went knight e4, and he went a takes b4. And I go queen takes b4, getting him out of the obvious danger. And then he goes knight f6. And I go knight g5 because that square became available. And then he goes knight g4. And I go queen b5 check. And he goes king f8. And I go knight h3. Sorry, you know what's the most distracting? I'm not even thinking about chess anymore. I'm just thinking about staring at the camera instead of myself. It's impossible. I should just flip my phone. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, sorry. Queen b5 check. He went king f8. I kind of wanted him to trade queens off at this point because I was worried about what he was doing on my king side, and rightfully so. And so anyway, he knows his queen is doing something. So and he goes king f8. So I went knight h3 because well, I didn't. The other way to protect that knight would have been to push my h pawn, go a4, and just protect it. I don't know why I didn't like it. I don't know. There was just something about it, about relinquishing, giving up my fort, my pawn fort. I was just, I shouldn't have to do that. So it felt safer. It felt safer to bring my knight back, put him in a little pocket there, blocks that rook's vision, but it gets tight. Watch this. He goes e4, bringing his pawn down. I go a4 because I'm like, well, who's got the stronger attack, right? You don't just buckle down and defend. You have to create attacks, and if yours is stronger, then he has to react to that as opposed to creating his own plan. So that's what you do. So I went a4. He went knight e5. And I went a5, bugging that bishop. He went c6, bugging my queen. And then I go queen b1, because now I'm eyeballing e4, the pawn on e4, and his bishop is still hanging. And so he had to think for a while on this. And he went... Oh, he went knight f3 check. And I couldn't take with the bishop, because then I would lose my knight on h3. My bishop is busy. So I went king h1. And he went bishop takes e3. He thought for a while, and he took. And I thought for not as long. Maybe I should have thought a bit longer. I don't know. Maybe I never would have seen what he came up with at this point. Watch this. Where am I? Queen b1, knight f3 check, king h1. Bishop takes e3, and I go f. My pawn takes back, leaving my bishop where it is. He doesn't need to move. And then he goes queen c8. And my friends, if I didn't stop, if I haven't trained, if this was like a month ago, even if this was back when I thought that it was smart to be confident and not overlook things, not check things 100 times and make sure you know why an opponent does a thing, right? Queen c8 looks like a nothing move at first. And I was like, all right, I'm going to eat that pawn on e4. It's just hanging out. That's the next step. It threatens the knight that's there. Gets my queen over into the action. But if I had taken that pawn on e4, if I was just a little bit stronger, I could go through all the lines. Let me think for just 1 second. Watch me struggle, okay? There is this nasty combination. Yes, his knight, the one on the G file, would have taken... No, his knight on the F file would have taken G3 check. Right? If he had to use sacrificing his knight on G3, his knight on F5, I believe, right? Because that's his queen is on c8. So c8, d7, e6, f5. Yes, so it's a simultaneous. He takes my pawn, and I have no choice but to take back. I can't move. The other knight is still there. It's a forced sequence. He takes my pawn on g3. I take back. He takes my knight on h3 with his rook, and he takes, and I take with the bishop. I take his rook with my bishop, and he takes the queen, and that's it. It's over. That's it, just like that. You're sitting pretty, and if you're asleep at the wheel, it's over, just like that. Oh man, the whole time this game was like, oh yeah, the English gave me a great position. Thank you. And just develop and go and nibble on things until it's all over. I got that bishop, I trapped it, and now he lost it, and now I'm just going to go. Right after that happens, he comes up with this deadly move. Deadly. And, well, I found a solution to it. Thankfully, I spotted it. If I had not spotted it, my position, no matter how good it looks, doesn't mean a thing. If you've got a forced mating sequence, mating 3 or 4 or whatever. Wild. So what did I do? Oh, look at me posing questions to the audience. What should I do? I went, and I don't know if this really works. If he had found the next best thing to do after this, who blundered when, right? I don't know. But I went to g4. A crucial move, because now I'm pretty solid. I'm thinking about all the stuff I thought about. It's like, it's pretty good. It's a solid block, right? Because g4 makes it so even if he sends the, I thought he was still going to send that knight down. That's what I calculated for a long time. If I was like, if I go g4, I had to calculate everything. I had to think about sacrificing my rook for that knight. The knight that's still in the F file, F3. I had to think about taking with nothing worked. If I had taken, it was going to be bad. If I didn't find this pawn to g4, forcing the knight to move. But if he had done what he wanted, if he had still went through with the plan, he wouldn't be able to bring his queen down. He would have to stop at g4 and eat that first, and that would give me another move. And I'm pretty sure that's all I would need to get out of the jam. And then start sacrificing stuff, right? Because he already sacrificed one knight. If I take on h3, he goes to queen takes g4. Then I could maybe sack my rook for that other knight, just relieving the pressure. Just get rid of all this stuff that's happening. Man, wow. What an exciting way. It's not over yet. So what he does to my g4, he goes knight 5, because I guess they're on they're just above and below each other. So the knight 5 to h4. And I go queen e4. Now I get to eat that pawn, the one I wanted. And he takes my bishop, knight takes g2. And I, instead of just auto taking back with the king, no autopilot, it's too dangerous. I notice that if I just take the other knights with my queen, I get this battery. I get a rook queen battery threatening mate in 1 up yonder. And then I could just, if he has to react to that, and then, now he's just out of pieces, and he resigned. He resigned right after queen takes f3. Wow. I had a heart attack because I was sitting so pretty. I was like, wow, I have this. I don't know what's going to happen exactly. But yeah, Yeah, man. Good times. I'm gonna turn it off now. Someone walked by and now I feel silly. Good game, though. Good game. If the people, one day I'll be famous, and all the people I played will be like, hey, by the way, I made recaps about all our games. Go watch it. It's good times. Back, 10 years ago, hopefully I'm, I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. I still feel silly, so I'm going to turn it off. Good times. It's been a while since I created one of these. His first game of the first tournament, Spring Frost tournament. Anyway, thanks for, I'm going to listen to this myself on the way home just so I can think about the position. That's what I do now on my long drive. I should be driving. Oh my God, I have a long drive to go. I forgot I'm in a different place right now. I've got like a 50-minute drive. Here I am sitting, explaining that I should be driving. Wow. Okay, so sorry, I'm excited. It was fun. It was a great game. Good game. Cool dude. Fun times. Chess is crazy. Okay, see ya.